Okay, so the king counted the Garudas and he found out that there are 24 Garudas on it. Okay, so as known for about the throne of Vikramaditya, there is 24 Garudas on it, and now the king is wondering what these Garudas are sitting there for. Okay, so that's all the third scene. Now we are moving on to the fourth scene for King's Palace. Okay, now it is the King's Palace. So the third scene was in the King's audience room. Now it is the King's Palace. Crowds have gathered in the palace grounds. The king is standing in front of the throne and praying. He moves towards the throne. Just as he is about to sit on the throne, one of the Garudas moves its wings. So what is happening? The crowds have gathered in the palace grounds. Okay, that means the many people from all over the country have gathered around means came together or assembled together on the palace grounds, and the king is standing in front of the throne and praying. Okay, so the royal priests have found an auspicious date, and they are the king is going to sit on the throne as planned. Okay, so before that he is standing in front of the throne and he is closing his eyes and he is praying. And what happens? Just as he is moving towards the throne to sit on it, one of the Garuda moves its wings. Okay, so I already told you Garudas are birds. Okay, so one of the 24 Garudas moves its wings. Voice of Garuda. Wait. First question yourself. Are you really worthy of sitting on this throne? Only a person who has a pure heart can sit on this throne. The king stops. Okay, so it was a throne and there were 24 carvings of Garudas on it, and as soon as the king is going to sit on the throne, one of the Garuda moves its wings and it is starting to speak up. Okay, see, he is telling, wait, first question yourself. Okay, so the Garuda is telling the king to question yourself. That means question your own deeds, your own things. Okay, are you really worthy of sitting on this throne? Worthy means having the quality that deserves something. Okay, are you qualified enough to sit on this throne? Okay, the Garuda is asking the king, are you worthy or are you qualified enough to sit on this throne? Only a person who has a pure heart. Okay, so if you have to sit on this throne, you should have a pure heart. A person with a pure heart is the only person who can sit on this throne. The king stops. Okay, so as soon as the king hears this, the king stops. He understands that he cannot sit on the throne yet. Voice of Garuda. Ponder on what I have just said. Tell me, have you ever been cruel or unjust to any living being? The king thinks. So the voice of Garuda is hearing again. Okay, ponder on what I have just said. Okay, think about. Ponder on means think clearly about. Okay, think clearly about what I have said right now. Tell me, have you ever been cruel or unjust? Unjust mean unfair. Okay, not being rightful to any living being. Have you ever been cruel or unjust to any living being? The voice of Garuda is asking to the king. So the king now stops there and he starts thinking. Okay, after thinking, he is replying, I have asked the question to myself. Okay, I have asked the question that whether I have hurt or have been cruel to any living being. The answer that I get tells me that I do not deserve to sit on this throne as I have been cruel and unjust many a time. So the king is confessing now. He is telling the Garuda that I am not rightful or I am not worthy of sitting on this throne because I have been cruel to many people or many living beings many times. Many a time means many times. For 3 days, I will fast, pray, and make myself worthy of the throne. Only then I will return. So now he is telling for 3 days, I know that I am not worthy of sitting on this throne. So what am I going to do? I am going to fast and pray. Fast means give out. Okay. Decide not to take any food or water. Okay. So the king is deciding to fast and pray for 3 days, and he is thinking that after doing that he will become worthy of sitting on the throne. And he is telling that I will do that for 3 days, and after that I will return to the throne. Now scene 5. So this was the scene 4. Now it is the scene 5. King's audience room. Everyone has assembled as before. The throne is still lying in the room. So now everyone has assembled. Assemble means come together. Okay, come together as a group. So everyone has assembled like before, and now the throne is again still lying in the room. One person from the crowd. So many days have passed. Every time we come here, the same thing happens. As the king is about to sit on the throne, one of the Garudas asks the same question. The king then stops and his courage fails. He says he is still not ready and goes to fast and pray for 3 days. So one person from the crowd is speaking again. So many days have passed after the voice of Garuda has been heard, and now the person is telling that every time the king comes to sit on the throne, one of the Garuda speaks up. Okay, and the Garuda asks the same question which was asked by the first Garuda. Are you worthy enough to sit on this throne? Have you ever been cruel or unjust to any living being? So the same question was repeated by all of the Garudas every day. Okay, the king then stops and his courage fails. Okay, so after hearing this question, the king then stops there, and his courage means ability to face danger, okay, or hardship. Okay, so the king become nervous and his courage fails, and he stops and he again return back. Okay, he goes back again to fast and pray for 3 days. This has been happening for days now. Okay, no any other change is happening to this routine. This thing is happening again and again and again as a routine. Now the king is in less advantage of courage. He does not have much courage in himself nowadays. So one person is speaking from the crowd likewise. Second person from the crowd. So one person from the crowd spoke up. Now the second person from the crowd is speaking up. This has happened 23 times. 23 Garudas have spoken. Now there is one Garuda left. Let us see what happens today. Okay, so 23 Garudas have already spoken up. Okay, they all ask the same question to the king. Now the second person from the crowd is telling that there is only one more Garuda left, and let us see what is going to happen today. All the people who have assembled look worried and sad. The king has an anxious expression on his face. The king moves towards the throne. As expected, the 24th Garuda flutters its wings and speaks. So what happens? Every people in the country are amused, and they are assembled, and they are worried and sad. Okay, their king cannot sit on the throne, so they were all sad and worried about the king. So the king also looks anxious. Anxious means worried or nervous. He also looks nervous, and he has a nervous expression on his face. The king moves towards the throne. Like always, the king is again moving towards the throne. As expected, the 24th Garuda also flutters its wings and speaks. Flutters means moves lightly or quickly. Okay, so the 24th Garuda is also now fluttering its wings, and it is going to speak up. Voice of Garuda. This time I am not going to ask the same question. I shall only ask you, have you not understood why we asked you if you have been cruel or unjust? So the 24th Garuda is speaking up, and the 24th Garuda is telling that it is not going to ask the same question which was asked by the other 23 Garudas, but he is going to ask one another question. Have you not understood why we asked you? If you have been cruel or unjust. Okay. So the 24th Garuda is asking whether the king have understood why the other 23 Garudas have asked him the same question. Okay. So he is asking whether the king have understood the meaning of why they were all asking the same question. Now the king is replying, yes, I have understood. Yes, I have understood. The cowherd was permitted to sit on the throne as he was pure at heart and he had never been cruel or unjust. So I understand that the cowherd was allowed to sit on the throne only because he was pure at heart. Okay, he have never been unjust or cruel to anyone. That is the reason why he could sit on the throne and I could not. That means the real king could not. So this was the reason the king found out. As the king speaks, there is a loud rustling sound. The throne rises in the air and flies away with the Garudas holding it. The crowd watches amazed. The king goes to the space where the throne stood. So what is happening? As the king is speaking about his problems, there is a loud rustling sound. Okay, there is a loud rustling sound. Rustling sound means soft sound like that made by the movement of dry leaves of paper or paper. Okay, so the movement of paper in the air and likewise the movement of dry leaves in the air. So that is a rustling sound. So they all heard a rustling sound. So what was it? The throne rises in the air and flies away with the Garudas holding it. Okay, so all the Garudas came together and they all held onto the throne and they started fluttering their wings and they all rise on the air. Okay, so what happened? The throne is rising in the air and it is flying away with all the Garudas holding onto it. The crowd watches amazed. Amazed means very surprised. The crowd, the king and everyone who is present at the palace are amazed and they were all watching with amazed expression. The king goes to the space where the throne stood. Okay, so the throne have flown away and there is nothing there anymore. Okay, so what is the king going to do now? He moves on to the place and stands where the throne has already been kept. He is standing there and he is going to speak now. My dear subjects, you all have been witness to the happenings in the past few weeks. Okay, so the king is telling, my dear subjects. Subjects means my dear people. The people of a country are referred to as the subjects of that country. So the king is referring to his people as the subjects. My dear subjects, you all have been witness to the happenings in the past few weeks. Okay, so he is telling his subjects that you all have seen what has happened in the past few weeks. I was not allowed to sit on King Vikramaditya's throne. The Garudas made me realize that I was not worthy of sitting on the throne. So he is admitting to his own problem. So he is telling that I was not. That means the king was not allowed to sit on the throne. Okay. So this is because the Garudas made me realize. The Garudas made the king realize that he was not worthy enough to sit on the throne. I have learnt a lesson. Just sitting on Vikramaditya's throne will not make me a wise and just ruler. I should be wise and just in all my actions, whether or not I am seated on the throne of Vikramaditya. Once again, the judgment of Vikramaditya has been a wise one. Okay, so the king is now telling that I have learned my lesson. The Garudas have taught me a lesson. So what is it? Just by sitting on the throne of Vikramaditya will not make me a just ruler. Okay, if I have to be a just and rightful ruler, I have to be a good person. My actions should be rightful. Okay, my actions should be just and rightful. Okay, so if I become a wise and just and rightful ruler, then I can be a good ruler like Vikramaditya. It happens not only because I sit on Vikramaditya's throne, but because I have to change just a person. Okay, so I am not a just person. The Vikramaditya's throne is giving the judgment against of Vikram. It is the judgment of King Vikramaditya itself. Okay, the judgment of King Vikramaditya is that if one should become a just ruler, he have to become just by himself. He shall become righteous by himself. So this is the moral or the idea which is shown in this chapter. Everyone cheers, the curtain falls, and that's all the chapter. Okay, so after the king spoke up about the judgment of King Vikramaditya, everyone cheers, everyone is happy, and they are all clapping their hands. So after that, the curtain falls down and the play ends. So as we already know, this is a drama or a play based on a story written by Romila Tabor. Okay, so I hope you all understood the chapter. Now, let us move into the grammar portion. Take page number 57 in your textbook. Page number 57 in your textbook. So, gerunds. We are going to learn about gerunds today. So, it is a new term for you. So, what are gerunds? Okay. So, there are two sentences given there. Read that. Children were playing in the field. The little girl started fanning herself. Two sentences are given and the verbs are given in bold. The two verbs are playing and fanning. Okay, they also have helping verbs were playing and started fanning. Okay, so these are the two sentences given. In these sentences, the verb plus ing form is used. Okay, so the verb is used with the ing form. For example, play plus ing, playing. Fan plus ing, fanning. Okay, likewise, verb plus ing form is used. So these form is used in different ways. Okay, so the verb plus ing form is used to form continuous tenses. Okay, verb plus ing form is used to form continuous tenses. Okay, like I am reading. Reading, that means I am continuing to do what I am doing. Okay, I am speaking. So speak plus ing. It is a continuous. That verb is in a continuous tense. Okay, so the verb plus ing form is used to form continuous tense. Remember, the verb plus ing form is also used to act as an adjective or noun. That is to form gerunds or participles. Okay, so this verb plus ing forms are used in three different ways. Okay, so when in a sentence, it is used as a continuous tense. First case is when it is used as a continuous tense. Second case is when it is used as a gerund participles. So there are three ways in which verb plus ing form is used. Okay, so the verb plus ing form may also be used as a noun. This noun can be used as a subject or object of a verb. Okay, so we are going to learn about the first case. the verb plus ing form may also be used as a noun. Okay, so we have earlier two examples we have seen the verb plus ing form, that means playing and fanning. Those two words were used as the continuous tenses. Okay, it was a tense itself. So these tense, that means the verb plus ing form can also be used as a noun, that means the object or subject in a sentence. So these kind of cases, okay, let us look into the cases. Okay, so verb plus ing form can also be used as a noun. So these noun can be used as a subject or object of the verb itself. Okay, so it is the verb plus ing form is not used as a verb here, but it is used as the subject or object of the verb. So let us look into the example. Okay, first one, eating at eating at fixed hours is a good habit. Here in this sentence, is, okay, is the verb and eating is the subject of this verb. Understood? So eating is the subject of this verb and eating is used as a noun in this sentence. Okay, so second example, he stopped eating late at night. Okay, he stopped eating late at night. Here the verb is stopped. Understood? The verb is stopped and eating is used as a noun. Okay, so in the first sentence, eating is the subject of the verb is. Okay, eating is the subject of the verb is. Is the verb in that sentence, and the eating is the noun eating is the subject of the verb is. Now, if we look into the second sentence, eating is the object of the verb stopped. Okay, stopped is the verb in the second sentence, and eating is used as the object of the verb. So we already know that the ing form can be used as a noun. It can either be the subject or be the object. Okay, so in the first sentence the ing form is used as a subject, and in the second sentence ing form is used as a used as an object. Understood? So when the ing form of a verb is used as a noun, it is known as a gerund. Okay, so likewise in these two sentences, if the ing form of a verb is used as the noun of a sentence, then that kind of a word is known as a gerund. Understood? So if the ing form is not used as a verb but as a noun, then it becomes a gerund. Understood? So that's all about gerunds. Now the next section, the verb plus ing form can be used like an adjective to tell us something more about a noun. When used as an adjective, it is used on its own without a helping verb. Okay, so the third case, we already talked about three cases. First one is when the ing form is used as the continuous tense. Second one was gerund, and the third one here is when the verb plus ing form is used as an adjective. Adjective, what is an adjective? Adjective is something which modifies a noun. Understood? So here an example is given. The winning team will be awarded a special prize. Here the winning team, winning is the verb plus ing form. So it is modifying the noun team. What kind of team? The winning team. Okay, so the word winning is an adjective to the noun team. So when the verb plus ing form is used as the adjective in a sentence, then they are the present participles. Understood? Adjectives formed from verbs with the help of ing are usually called present participles. Understood? Adjectives formed from verbs with the help of ing form used as the adjectives in a sentence, they are the present principles. So that's all for today. I hope you all understood the chapter. Do the exercises in page number 58 and 59 properly. Thank you.